to model. So of
Yeah,
course
but
I'm
you're
5'6".
like perfect. Okay. Do you think that's recorded on? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, probably.
You're
Maybe take a
5'5".
couple pictures.
You missed it, but yeah.
You talented me.
There you go. That's me.
You feel good now.
All right, guys. Thanks for your patience about that. See, I got caught up. I mean, what great speakers do we have?
I know. We
Oh
are
my
so
God.
fortunate. So fortunate. All right. Without further ado, and that thing is going. Or do you have to press
I'll
start?
just get in here like that.
I know, right?
Thank you, Chelsea Maborski. First of all, thanks to you guys for your patience. Secondly, great present for all of you guys if you want to hint to your family. It's my articles my daughter got for me over Christmas, and it's a bag of my articles. Isn't that the cutest thing?
That is cute.
So she got material printed of my articles, and then she gave it to me for Christmas. I just had to share. That's how much my kids love me. Oh, they're not here. I don't know where they are. All right, I just had to show that to you. Now, I'm going to regroup. I actually haven't read this, so. Do you guys pity me for following her? I got a banana. Actually, it's perfect following Sam. Is that how, everybody just calls you Gonzo, right?
They do.
The Gonzo. Because you are the perfect branding person. Do you get what she just has right here? The whole theory, the hat, the sunglasses with the reading glasses on the outside, and the cigar. I mean, it's the perfect. I meant to follow her right now because this is what it's about. She's got it down. I just have a banana, so I'm trying to catch up to her because I got nothing. So I'm going to be like you. So I'm going to be Sammy Jr.
Banana, most important fruit in the world.
I'm going to go with that.
I do too.
I don't really even like bananas, but that's only between all of us. All right, so I gave you guys all this little flyer, and you guys can kind of follow through because it's actually beyond me. And when Jill asked me to talk, I was like, I'm going to put this down. I'm not good walking too. I move my hand too much. When she asked me to talk, I talked last year about therapy. Laughter through the keyboard is what my topic was, and it was a good one. I liked it because that's how I write. If any of you guys read my articles, you'll see that I'm complaining about my husband or my kids or my dogs or whatever. And I highlight the keys, and we have to laugh about our life here in the keys. I mean, there's a story after story after story, as Steve Gibbs had said. And obviously Gonzo here, I was just in there mesmerized, so I didn't even get prepared hardly. So again, I guess I should just start off. I'm Jana Vandelaar, in case you don't know. I do write for the Reporter, and there's some free papers back there. Dave Goodhue gave me a whole bunch, and so you don't even have to pay your quarter today. That's how much of a deal I am. The title, as you see on the top, is Business of Branding, and then I put in parentheses and bribing, because I'm all about giving people free things just so you can kind of pay attention a little bit, and it's just anything. I'm not sure where I'm at right now with my writing, but I believe if you can give people a smile, even if it's through a banana or through banana bread or through yellow things like the lemon drops, I'm there for you. So, but I have been down here 23 years. I've written for the Reporter for, I think about 5 years now. And I'm in about every other week. So I'm thank God, because I don't think I could come up with every week. It's hard to come up with articles. And like Sammy says, to Gonzo.
Just point at me.
I'm going to, the cool one over there. I cannot get that article in. I said this last year. It's like pulling teeth for me to hit. I don't care if I wrote it a week ago. I still re-look at it. I edit, and then I get it out, and then I look at it again. I'm like, should I have kept it? What was that paragraph that I had that I edited out? It's really a nightmare for me, so I'm right with you. So to do it every week, to do what Steve Gibbs does where he cranks out things day in, day out, I really respect. I have written a whole bunch of books, and I just retired with my little Gladys here from the American Airlines. Oh. And so I'm officially, now I think I'm going to be out there writing even more. More importantly, trying to get these books out so that I am actually, because I've written them, but they're on my computer. So they actually need to get out, I think, is a hard thing. And Dominic. Hi. Dominic goes to my daughter's school, and Savannah. Savannah's actually in her class. Oh. So thank you guys for coming. Can you just make sure my head's actually in the video camera that's over here?
It is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
top 2/3.
Yeah, the hips aren't here.
No.
That's why the bananas are I'm no dummy. All right, so to get to the thing, when she asked me to actually speak today, I was a little daunted because I have not, the time has gone, a year's gone, and last year when she asked me, I was really honored, and I had, I honestly, within a month's time, cranked out Only in the Keys. Well, the articles are already written, but it's still formatting, finding people to get it published, you know, being anal like me and Gonzo now is I'm just like, I'm again Gonzo Jr. I'm just like, I'm naming myself. I'm going to be honorary here. But to get that perfectionism out of me and just get it out in time for the seminar, I did it. And I was really glad I did. It's just something to be said, like you said, if nothing else for my kids. But it's fun for I do have actually followers and readers, and I'm like, thank you. And so it's fun for them to actually, if they want a coffee table, or I call it a bathroom book. Like you said, my theme is like pooping. You can read it on the bathroom. So I cranked and got it out, and I was proud of myself. The Puppy Tooth Fairy, I think I'd given myself, that was when I was just trying to experiment with the self-publishing again and online. And I was just trying to see, so I gave myself like a month to get that out. And I think I have to think in deadlines, and my loveliest, she's actually my stepdaughter who was the brains behind the bag. She told me that she said she thinks that I act on deadlines, and I do. I mean, it's whatever fire needs to be put out, I will do. I mean, if it's my daughter's yearbook page that we just had to do, it was horrible. That was my deadline. Then the next thing is this wedding, and the next thing, it's just, that's how I operate. And so this is what I did for last year. So now a year's passed and nothing's there. I haven't really done anything except my articles again. I've been tweaking my book for probably my one book that I really want to get out, probably the 100th time. And, I think I sent out a couple queries for regular publishers. I got some really good bites, and it was great, and I thought for sure I'm going to be in, and then I got the refusals. I mean, people enough to call me and talk to me about it, and then just the refusals. It's very frustrating. I mean, I really respect that you guys got on through the traditional publishing. It's tough. And I don't know if I'm not giving it enough time, but I know now that I want it as a priority, so hopefully, everybody keep your fingers crossed. But so part of this whole growing up into the writing world is branding. It's one of the key things. It's just a part of it. There's so many facets, as we've all learned today. But there's some people like Gonzo who are amazing. They just have a presence, and they have an image that people know what to expect. Not everybody's going to like it. I mean, people just are like, really, Jana, grow up, bananas. But, I mean, there's an image. It's an easy thing to remember. I mean, you see, I saw her walk in, I'm like, oh, that must be Gonzo. She has sunglasses on. I've never met her before. It's easy. It's a great branding thing. There's some amazing artists out there. Stacy Krupa. I marvel at her brand. It's stuff I couldn't do. I just am boggled. She just gets out there, and she has this image, this brand, and she's going for it. And that's what artists have to do, I think, and we're all artists. You have to find your niche that people can relate to, and that it's a consistent thing that they'll feel comfortable with, because it's a consistent thing. Again, the same outfit as last year. No, I wore a different outfit, but yellow and black. I'm giving you guys, I wish I should have thought of the sunglasses, because that would have been a lot easier. There's not that many bright yellow things out there. So I knew I needed to learn about branding. I thought what better to do is to talk to you guys. Maybe we can all learn together. And if you guys have any, please. You guys had some great comments early, and just jump in. I went online and studied for a while and tried to, Google's amazing. And I found a lot of good links, and one of which I copied a lot. There, his actual 11 golden rules. I included the link there so you guys can look into it more in depth. But he was good, and I think I never really got what the difference was between branding and, say, a trademark or copyright. And in the back there, it gets in a little bit more about that too. But the branding thing is basically, and I might skip it. Well, I'll stick with my thing. So let's go with this guy. He just had 11 golden rules about branding, and we can go through it really quick. And I'll kind of go with you with what it says. His first one was listen to the customer. And he said, it's amazing how people, again, just want to plow ahead and do what they want to do and forget about anybody else and what they care about, and what the mass wants. If you want to make $100,000, I just want to make $100 so many bucks. You have to reach out to what people want to see. They want to see Gonzo with bees on her face. I mean, I can do it. I'm not going to go there. But you have to figure it out. I know that my customers and my particular thing is that I have a strength in is to make people smile. That's my strength, and that's about all I can do. I have a ton of different genres I'm fascinated with, as Carol and I were talking. We just go from, I'm a columnist to a novelist to a romance writer to children's books. I love to write them. To even scripts, and so I even won some TV scripts I sent in, just like 24th place in the national competition, but that's out of 1,000, so I was pretty proud. And it was 10 years ago, so don't worry. But I love writing scripts, so I'm like a huge thing. But my one thing in common is a smile, and just a certain sense of humor, tongue-in-cheek, self-depreciating, whatever it is. But there's niches for that, and that's what I'm strong at. My name rhymes with with banana. My name is Jana. So, again, I said this last year, a lot of really bright people say Janana, and I'm like, oh, God, that throws the whole thing. Let's not get too smart here, okay? It's just Jana like banana. So I started embracing that because it's an easy thing for everybody to kind of see and look at. I'm thinking about, and you guys give me your feedback, even on my newspaper article, should I maybe, have a banana next to my head or something in that little picture? I don't know. I need, what? Banana glasses like you? Yeah, so I just know that that's my particular thing. And, even though I write all these different things, all my customers, my audience wants that humor. I don't think I could get away with writing 50 Shades of Grey. Dang it. So I don't have the knowledge, I don't have anything.
50 Shades of Yellow.
I love it. See, that's what I'm saying. She's got 3 kids, and I know she has to leave, but I love her.
I'm waiting for,
Okay. So great. Write that down so I can oh, I'm using it. I did write 50 Shades of Grey. Who Needs 50 Shades of Grey? I think it might be in my book. I don't know if I got it in, but it was one of my more popular articles. It was about a mosquito. I don't know if anybody read it, but it's really good. And it's my take on 50 Shades of Grey living in the Keys, and it's perfect. Okay, so number 2, he said, the number 2 rule is keep it honest, simple, and consistent. Consistency is another thing I really get an F in. I just am not consistently on Facebook. I'm not consistently doing a banana thing, I don't, or yellow, I'm not sure. So I think consistency is a key thing. Having it so people can expect something from you. The best thing is that I was blessed to get the column in the paper because it's a consistent thing. Otherwise, nobody would even know who I was, except that I'm really cute. And so every site I read about stressed that we need a mission statement, so to speak, which I love that what Steve Gibbs said, that you can't get anywhere without a map, really. And I think I was like sitting there going, that's exactly it. And I do outline my stories. I am a good writer in that I have a great outline, almost even with my stupid little columns. I just have a great concept of how I want it, how it goes, and what it ends with. I'm very good at that. I know my maps. But as far as my career, that's another step. And that's part of that is the branding again. So you say I'm kind of tying it in because you have to have, you too, Gonzo, with the, before you even write, you figure out where you actually want to be with that. And that was, it all ties in, and how you, I don't get how you're going to do the college tour and how that's going to tie in, so we'll talk about that later, but how that benefits, you have a plan, and it's like genius, and I need to grow up with that, and if you guys can help plan, do it. And for each of your own careers, you guys, you do need a plan. And I think that's why people really plow ahead, is because they have a visual of where they want to be with us in the future. There is a part of me that I'm just so glad I got them out because my kids can read them. They can make me bags. It's great. But I do aspire to, and she's going to be the great next speaker too because of the money. And I love the show me the money part of hers. it's all about, I guess, business for me in this talk compared to just the joy of writing, and I'm not that great at it, so I'm just trying to tell you what I learned from all of it as I was studying it. So again, we need a mission statement, a map. Know who you are and what you want to represent and sell. Be honest with yourself. Like I said, as much as I'd like to write the 50 Shades of Grey, which is going to be yellow, I don't have that skill set to do it. Harry Potter, wow, I could imagine to be, I mean, just amazing. And I mean, just the depth of her stories are amazing, and I just can never get to that level. It's not really of my interest. I love reading them, but it's not me, you know, and so it's fine. I have my own things, you know. I'm into, I don't know, writing about mailboxes and the keys or whatever. I do know I'm down to earth. I excel about writing everyday things, which I think is huge. Again, I talked about that last year. Bill Cosby, Jerry Seinfeld, they're multimillionaires. I'm good at that. So just, you know, play up at what you're good at and find it. And there's people out there, but you have to know yourself. So keep it honest, simple, and consistent. And I said too, it says the consistency, it's really important within the social media as well. Not just that you stay with it, I think, but to keep your brand consistent throughout Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all those things that I'm still really new at and stuff, but I'm getting there. If you look, and I'll show you that in a minute, it'll come up about how mega people like Amazon are just amazing. So, I mean, they just keep the same vibe throughout the whole thing. And it's not necessarily the same logo or the same like a banana, but it's the same vibe. And that's what consistency, it's really important in this business. Okay, number 3 is meet the market opportunity. You know, this is what you touched on about your biography, your autobiography. You have to kind of figure out what your market is and know that the people out there and know, kind of understand that how it might be limited or how it could expand, and try to figure out what could hit what. And I'm really still trying to figure that out, but I think I have it easier. An autobiography would be hard. Just God bless you. Because mine are everyday things, and there's a certain thing. The key thing too, though, my articles are specifically about the keys, and I think that has really pigeonholed me into just the keys for those particular articles. Again, I've stretched out with the other books and stuff, but I'm kind of realizing, watch yourself with that too, because you could pigeonhole yourself into it. As much as I love it, I mean, I would much rather be like Irma Bombeck, who wrote about, I mean, and I do in my articles, about my husband and my kids. But because I pigeonholed a little bit into the keys, it kind of locked me in a little. And it's, you know, everything's changeable, but it's kind of an important, you know, to understand the market and how it can benefit you. Number 4, cool is never declared. And I was talking to Carolyn about this. One of my hardest things when I see amazing artists, oh my God, that get out there. And it's just like, I'm like, wow, I don't know if I have the ego for that, you know? I mean, it's hard for me. We were talking maybe Catholic, I don't know, I'll blame it on the Catholic Church, because I don't want to take any of the responsibility. But I think
That's the title.
Yeah, blame it on the Catholic Church. Never said that, another one, write it down. I've got some good things going. It's on tape, so I got it. Because I have no memory skills either, but... what was I saying? Yeah, it's been hard for me with the ego. It's hard for me to take time to write unless I have a deadline, which is what my daughter is telling me. She's like, you know, you commit to something, you'll be damned because I promise something to somebody, I will do it. But it's hard for me to actually to give myself any type of light. And I love this in here. He says, the need to build brand image or customer loyalty must never be mistaken for or confused with self-congratulation. So I need to learn that that's okay. It's okay to get out there, and if anything, I'm giving a gift by showing banana things, by showing my laughter, or by being out there. It can actually be good for people as well, and maybe that'll help me psychologically, and you guys too, if you've had problems trying to figure out how to promote yourself somehow. I loved number 4 on that one. Number 5, the conversation is two-way. The emphasis should always be on serving others, on benefits of the audience. Okay, yeah, we need to, again, we kind of touched on that. I don't know how come it's different. I did this late. Oh, here's the second page. Because again, we need to write about what would interest other people. It's a two-way. You're in a bar, you're talking away like I am right now, and you guys are like, you know, and I want to hear your stories too, and it's been fascinating all day. And so, you know, even if you like to write about hot romance, then you need, so how does this tie in with this? Let me see. It's two ways. So you need to understand what they want to read. If people are coming to me, they want to hear about my funny things. But yet I also still need to tie it into how they could relate to it. I mean, I can write all day about my husband and his underwear. You know, it's going to be boring after a while. You know, people want to, unless the one person who has the same husband that does that all the time, you know, then maybe they can do it. But you need to listen to the other person and be sure that you're understanding what they're saying. And then, like I said, if you are into the hot romance, you're going to have to like live up to that type of thing. It's like Stacy Crouppen. I don't mean to keep bringing her up because she's amazing to me in her art and stuff. She's gorgeous and she can do that. I couldn't do it, you know. So I couldn't, you know, I couldn't promote like that for me. That just isn't me. But she can, and it sells, and it's great. You know, she could wear a yellow bikini instead of bringing a yellow banana in, and I'll tell you, she'll get the audience. She'll be amazing. I would be in a yellow bikini, and it'd be like, oh my God. So you just kind of have to listen to your customer. If they want a romance book, then you have to fit that romance image is how this all ties in. So you need to get like a Thor there, you know, or keep a Thor in mind while you're writing Don Knotts that's fumbling around and stuff. So somebody said Don Knotts earlier. It was funny. Because Thor is my boyfriend. I also want to fight Johnny Depp, but Thor is, I think.
She's selfish.
I'm kind of into it. Yeah, I'll take them all. So for me, if people are trying to find humor in their frazzled life, they're going to look for me, you know, and that's what I like, and I know how to figure that out and maybe tie it in to the audience. So I'm trying to listen to you guys out there and see how it can really benefit both of us. Number 6 is get real and differentiate. Sorry, big word. They're basically just saying to be real, not to be fake. I mean, I love that about all the speakers today. They were so genuine, and I just think it kind of reminds me, because I mean, I've heard about you. I mean, Sue gives, Patty, I mean, Jill, it's like, wow, these guys are amazing. But then they're just real people, and it's amazing, you know, that it's just really good to get that. When you can exude that, I think, exude that, I think it'd be great, and it really, the people can feel that, and they want that, and they want to see more of you. So, number 7, map your audiences, messages, channels, and desired results. And this ties in with the whole business side, I think, of writing, and I don't have any of this. I get an F, I wrote, because again, it's a changing market. You have to stay up with it. I think you have to map out your plans and figure out what you're doing, and you really have to be aggressive in it, and just keep records. Oh my God, I can hardly wait to speak, because she keeps tabs on the financials behind it and how it can benefit within each different with the different publishing companies or within self-publishing, and that's huge in this business. So I really need to focus on 7. And again, find the link. I think it's at the top here, and he goes into depth about it a lot more than this, but because I just am boggled by it. Number 8, live your brand with purpose and passion. Yeah, I mean, you have to be passionate about what you're doing and what you live for, and I just, again, love this section, because I do believe I do that, and that's the one thing I'll give myself credit for. I love the silliness of bananas, and I only brought the monkey because he loves bananas, so thus the monkey would love me. It came as a packet overnight, because I was going to try to blow up a banana for future speaks, because I'm sure I'm going to be asked to speak at other conferences. But I love it. I love being able to, you know, pass out banana bread, and, you know, I've heard there's banana myths, so in the future, I might be passing those out. I love the whole purpose of making people laugh. That's my passion, and so I just, you know, again, look at more. He's got more to say about it, but I feel good about that on myself and my brand. I'm okay with it. It's a little sillier than the sexiness, the coolness. I mean, I wish I could be cool. but I like what I'm doing, so that's good. Because you're going to have to live with it. I think we'll be stuck with brands for a long time. So once you adopt it, you're pretty much stuck with it. Number 9, it's experience. It's a how how you do what you do as opposed to the what you do. It's how you do what you do as opposed to what you do. So, do you guys get that? I forgot the analysis behind it. But I think, again, you can be, what do you guys think? You could just be writing, and I'm stumbling on this one for some reason. I don't remember. I didn't write too many notes on this because it made sense to me the night. But I think it is how you approach
Your
it.
style.
Yeah,
Your style.
and the professionalism, and instead of just plowing through and doing it necessarily, you have to have the professionalism and the actual,
Yeah, sometimes they always say, don't be afraid to say I'm a writer.
I'm horrible at that, I know.
A lot of people will say well, I'm, like when I was teaching, well, I'm a teacher, and and I write on the side, or I kind of write. One of the things be proud and say, you're a writer,
Yeah,
that's what you do.
That's an excellent point. That's really good. And I think that does tie in here, so thanks, Patty, because I'm horrible at that. My girlfriend, Julie, I think you guys, she's like my best bud. We call each other husbands because we just tag team as husbands for each other. She actually gave me a little note that I put on my computer. It says, "You are a writer," and it was so cute. And she's constantly sending me notes because I don't acknowledge that, and I think it's a huge thing, and we should all embrace it because it's an incredible business and what we can give to people in this world. So you're right. So thank you, Patty. Number 10, embrace the idea of community. Digital technology has given us all more opportunity to build loyalty through our brands, to establish a dialogue with our customers, and to learn how to improve. So the digital thing is overwhelming, but it can be such a help too. I mean, like we were talking about, Googling this, Google that. It can be such a benefit to us. We can reach so many more people because of it. So we have to learn to embrace it instead of fighting it so much. And then again, if we have a brand, then that will give them, with all this massive technology out there and all this massive stuff that they're hit with every day, they can see a banana, they can see your sunglasses, they can see this brand. And I think it's an easy recognizable thing. Finally, number 11 is measure the results and enact the change. Okay, I wrote, keep your eye on things that you've done and work and have worked. So keep your eye on things that you've done and that have worked, and the things that have not worked, you tweak them. So Miley might be the queen of twerking, but I'm the queen of tweaking. I think Sammy might be your grandson might be. I mean, I am like, I can tweak until I'm dead. After my editor, Dave Goodhue, ask him, because I'm at the last minute. I will not, even the next day, go, what? He goes, what specifically needs to be done? So, if I could go around the town after the reporter's been delivered with a little whiteout and a sticker with a better version, I would tweak it up until, as they're reading it. But again, with the digital technology out there, we have the means to efficiently watch what specifically works. And again, that's where we're going to be followed up. She's great about, really keeping up what works and what doesn't work, and we can even keep it within our own business and stuff. So take advantage of it. And then again, follow through with looking at his link. He had some really. It wasn't too much longer than this, but it was very much in depth, and I probably scammed over it to be more like for my personal life or for the writers, because I think he's kind of talking about business in general. I just wanted to move on to point out, like Disney, Amazon, and Target. You guys, the minute you even hear the word Target, you got an image. It's if nothing else red, which is why I brought the yellow mints, or the yellow sucker things, because if nothing else yellow, they have taken over red. There's one other huge red one I can't think of all of a sudden, but Target is, they don't even have to put the Target on there. They had on one of their Facebooks or something just a bunch of roses in a certain area and a kind of a design, but not really. It's like they've got it made, and these guys know what they're doing. They have the professionals out there. So I just kind of wanted to show you, like I pulled up some to make quick copies. Amazon, I didn't really get that this was a smile, but it does always, I'm like Amazon queen. On top of queen of tweaking, I'm what?
And did you know what it is also? I found out just recently that the arrow is from A through Z. Like Amazon, it's got everything from A through Z.
They are
Sorry,
genius
I
people. No, I love that stuff. I know.
I just found that out
I just never, and yeah, they exude, and so this is what I was pulling up for you, this little tiny F, that's their Facebook thing. The little bluebird Twitter, it's their same thing, they actually kept the same thing, which you're like, oh, do you have to do the same? No, because then they go onto Pinterest, and they have this, okay, which is kind of the same, but they don't have the boxes and stuff on there. So this is a consistency within the social media as well as just trying to keep up with day to day so people are reminded of you. But this is LinkedIn, which is business, as you guys probably know, and so they made it like a happy business place for them, and that was interesting to me that he had this analysis on that, and they showed that the workers are happy, and so it still sticks with it, and they just have a little arrow there. I hate to say, cool, huh? So that was interesting to me. Disney kept pretty much the little Mickey Mouse, although it's like years of this Mickey Mouse, and it's just what people love, and it's what they expect and what they feel comfortable with, and it's their home, and it's their family. So they like that, but they just even their little, if you pull up, I mean, see through all of LinkedIn, blah, 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 they all are kind of the same, but they flip it into just even the Walt Disney with the D, they're really cool D, and everybody just knows it. You don't have to stick with the banana is what I'm saying. You can go off and do just something, because this is what the whole key that I've learned. Let me see if I wrote it down, because I learned it. I don't know if I wrote it. It's basically a feeling, I think. And oh, I did do it. I think it's on the last page. I Googled what the differences was between logos, identities, brands, etc., because it's kind of overwhelming. Like, so what's the difference? The last thing was really cute with the different picture. It's a tangible concept for me, and I loved it. But if you skip to the brand, it basically says the concept is not a concrete object. It's the foundation for your entire marketing and framework. It's the emotional and psychological relationship between a company and the consumers. So it's like more of an emotional tie. I mean, who doesn't want to be in the Key West, with a cigar and sunglasses? I mean, that's like an emotional tie. It's something that people that are looking for that are going to see that and click with and stick with it, And finally, it's what people think and feel when they experience your company. That was a big thing with Amazon, which I didn't even click with a smile. I just know I like it. But it's like, oh, because it's got a little smile there. That's probably what really is done. And then I think I'm going to make sure the difference is on here. I think I pass it all out to all of you guys too, between logos and stuff. Because, yeah, the identity, the brand, the logo, it kind of helps. If you guys are as confused as I was about what the difference is between having a logo and having an actual brand. And again, the brand is more the feeling that's behind what you're trying to convey in writing or whatever. The final thing, I've been actually working, because I read about this for this seminar today, and so I've been working on my website. I don't know. So I've been trying to make it more of a feeling, and it's interesting trying to get that going and trying to tweak it so that it's something people can respond to and still keep a consistent. Actually, I have a lot of black because I want it to be somewhat responsible too. It isn't just bananas for me. I do want you guys to know that I'm a serious writer as well, and so you don't want to get too off onto the whole giant banana and monkey, even though I have the balls to bring it out below monkey. But did you notice I put my logo on the outside of the banana so that it would still tie in the back of your heads? But I also look really good in black, so all my pictures are good. So it's the only thing I look good in. But I think that I'm trying to learn on how to tie it in with my books and my future books that are going to be out there so that everybody can still respond. And it's a lot of work for all of us. So if you guys email me, on the top of this I have my website. Carolyn pointed out that I didn't put my email, which wasn't my brightest thing. But my website and the Facebook, you can all get through me and give me ideas. I'm there, and if you guys want to bounce ideas off about your particular career and where you want to go with it. I mean, it's just so cool to hear that there's some writers out there with some books that are coming out. And I think you were asking about, worried about people stealing your stuff at the, and I want to go to that Latitude 25 thing. Every month I'm doing something every time. I'm that busy. No, but it's got to be a priority to me because, like Patty says, you have to hit these seminars. I learned so much today with just being here among you guys, throwing ideas back and forth. I read somewhere about the stealing of the ideas. People, it's a lot of work to write a book. So they're going to hear your idea and write it. God bless them, but it's hard enough for us with our own ideas. And I read that from like a top person, and I really do believe it. It really relaxed me because like 20 years ago when I first started, I was so afraid to tell people about my idea because it's like they're going to steal it. Oh my God, it's so hard to write a book. So I don't think. And I'm not down, because I totally was there with you on that. It was a huge fear of mine. And I think when you go there, you gain so much strength within each other, just like we have today, that I think that is a really minor thing. I think it was Steven Spielberg or somebody that said that. It was a huge person who said, people just don't have that energy to steal. They, you might, and if they do, God bless them. I mean, it would be really, because you are so committed to it, you're going to go for it. So I love this little back thing too. Can you guys see it on your?
Yeah.
It's a great different. I keep saying these big words, I can't pronounce them, but so I'll go just simpler. It's a great comparison for marketing, public relations, advertising, and branding again. So it kind of keeps it clear. And again, please email me or Facebook me with any suggestions for me or for you guys, or if you want to brainstorm and bounce things off from there with you. So, any questions? No, I would love to talk to you.
Do you have any more handouts?
Yeah. Where's
I think,
Savannah?
yeah.
I have a whole bunch more. So yeah, it would have been better if you had a handout because I did ramble a little bit. I'll keep these up there too, because you guys can see, because we all are learning. I think there are some pros, but with social, we do need. Pinterest is huge. These companies have figured out. I'm like, why would Amazon be on Pinterest? But they have figured out how much power social media is, and they're no fools. And so, I mean, if we can get on there, if one person sees my book, thumbs up, and they can sell it, or they can say, oh, my sister. Oh no, I'm not. But it is really important to get into the social media and try to do it, and try to have a map about where you want to go and how you want to. Yes, Ms.
All right, then I'll ask you a question.
All right.
On your website, do you have a like button so that I guess it's linked to Facebook, your Facebook?
I'm supposed to. Is it not working? Have you tried?
You know what? I only ask you because I have a like button.
Yeah.
And I also have a way that people can email me through my website. I think there was maybe one person in, I don't know, 3 years of having a website that has ever emailed me from my website. But I do have 83 likes of my website, which again isn't a lot, but is better than 5.
Right.
And so, anyway, so I was just wondering.
You know what? I don't think I do for my website. I think I have it tied into my Facebook like. You're right. Until you said that, I'm like, wait, because
they can like.
Because I like it, but it goes onto my Facebook. I don't think I have that. And that's another thing that I was really curious about, and how people, unless you're just a naturally talented, how people, and maybe we could even talk about this even now because I obviously have nothing more, but how people decide, like somebody was saying, to get a publicist. I mean, I've heard that can be a great way to help you with all this, or to hire somebody to do. I mean, I'm pretty handy with graphics and stuff, and so I've been creating my own websites and stuff, but I do think like those technical things are crucial, and you need to, especially to follow through, like what you're saying.
On that, there are people you can hire. I just recently did this, and I wish I had done it sooner.
I know.
That, like virtual assistants that you can hire.
I read about that
You
too.
can do. I'm trying to offload as much of the non-writing stuff as I can.
Right.
And because I found that I'll get into that a little when I do my talk, but it's so much of writing career and promotion and all that stuff was eating what should have been writing time.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I finally realized if I was going to get any more writing done, I had to farm some of that out. And there are people out there who are really good at like the website design, or just like tweaking. If you want updates, or it's like, can you put a button on my website so if people click on that, they like my Facebook page, stuff like that. There are people that know how to do this.
Now,
stuff.
and you said virtual, which I just read about too, but I was kind of boggled when I read about
Well,
it.
like I live full time. I'm down here part time,
Okay.
and still most of the time in Indiana. And my virtual assistant lives like 6 states away.
Right.
So I've never met her face to face.
Right.
It's all been through email. but, and she bills me monthly based on how many hours.
And she has
works for
access
me.
to your website then, and you just,
Yeah,
you sign
I
like
have
a
to give her
contract?
access. I give
Did
her
you just
access
Google
to-
virtual assistant?
I know, I asked for a bunch of writers' loops and stuff where people share information and it's like,
See, this
got
is what we need to be
recommendations from
all
other writers and stuff, yeah. And, what was somebody?
I even heard like in India they have like a whole thing with this virtual where they can order flowers for your mom
Oh, sure.
and way
I'm sure
before you
that's
even
true,
knew it was her
yeah.
birthday and stuff or
But for
whatever.
this, you need somebody with more specialized
But
knowledge.
yeah, where they can
So,
actually
Like she puts together my newsletter for me, all I have to do is send her
So
the text and like links to the images I wanna use or attach the images I wanna use, and then she just like turns it into a.
Now,
a
how
newsletter.
hard was it to let go of the control?
That was hard, and I'm
It'd
still working on
be
it.
hard
I'm still working on
to
that
let go
part.
of the control. As Gonzo actually said too, it's tough. I mean, to let go and to say, okay, I'll let you go ahead and draw that picture of Patty. I think you were saying that too. It's hard. So, yes, I'm sorry.
Personally, I resent websites where you have to join a social media in order to like or give comments or something.
I agree.
'Cause I
Yeah.
want to keep a low profile. And
Yeah.
all this identity theft and government sticking their nose in your business and everything. I don't want to join any.
But I don't think, I don't know, like if you check out a website, I don't think you actually, for a website, I don't think you have to join anything just to check it out. But I know what you're saying. It's, I loved the book that you're reading, Patty, because it's like, you don't need a password just for book. I mean, the simplicity of life anymore. I mean, it would have been, it's so complex just to get on, like you said, to hit a website. All of a sudden you're inundated with all this stuff and you're going, I just wanted to read the website. I just wanted, I don't want to have to go on to this next thing, and it's overwhelming. Yeah,
What you're saying is true. Somehow I was able to put a like button on mine, and to my knowledge, that's all it is. It tells me that somebody liked my website. I don't get any special message with that. I have to go and check it myself. But then on their part, they don't get any junk from me. They haven't communicated anything with me other than they happen to like what they saw on my website. So you're right, that's very non-threatening. I'm not asking them to get my newsletter.
But you're a particular person. There's other people that once you do, you're sucked into their vortex, and then that's it. I mean, you and I are not like that. Only because I wouldn't know what to do anyway. Yes, sorry.
I
Well, then you have a
disagree.
relationship, right, and you're stuck, you have to actually communicate with them.
I firmly disagree with everything you're saying about the worry about losing your anonymity. A brand is not to be anonymous, it's to be for everybody. Are you going to limit the number of people that are going to buy your publication? Are you going to limit the publishing of your product? So therefore, that brand becomes a separate entity of its own. It's not you, you understand? It has to almost be, Mickey Mouse was a separate entity of Walt Disney. It's a brand. So Mickey Mouse needs to be there for everyone and not limited. So Mickey Mouse can have a Facebook page with a password and all of those types of things and can go to everyone. If someone hacks Mickey Mouse, that's a bad thing. Someone hacks your brand, that's a bad thing. But if you start limiting your ability to get to every swinging person on the earth to market your book, Jill, then you're going to have a problem possibly limiting the number of sales that you might have. So that,
Well, when I get to the point where I publish something, then I will have to go.
that's what she's talking
You're
about.
coming at this as a reader, really,
Yeah,
right?
right, I'm talking about
As a reader,
somebody
she-
that uses the website, not as a.
Her banana brand can get hacked all at once, probably. But she would probably sell many more books if it were to that situation.
Right, I'm surprised at how many Jana Bananas are out there in this world. It's like you cannot get, and this is another thing you have to be aware of. You can't, to get my website, I almost had to do Jana Vandelaar and surprisingly that wasn't taken because, that was unusual enough. There are so many, and people actually even buy things ahead of time just so that they can eventually sell them. These smart people, again, that have the roadmaps ahead of life, I'm like, what? There's like a, what is it called to get that when you have to go online? A domain. We actually bought a couple of Jana I think we did like a bananajana.net or something. We went it backwards because my thing I've always said was Jana, and I like banana, and so I'm like, oh, that'll be easy. I'll just do Jana Banana. And it's like, oh my God, no. And it was, you have to go through. So it's a whole world out there that this brand, but like you said, hopefully if somebody's Googling, you know, there's another really gorgeous girl named Jana. Every time I write out my name, like you said, I think to check to see what's out there. Because I don't know if you guys saw me, but I dove underwater in Halloween, and I did the little pumpkin with the braces.
Yes.
I was famous for a moment there, nationwide. It went all over the press. So it was kind of fun to watch because I was just like everywhere. I don't know, I was just so cute underwater. Did you see me? No.
One more thing.
No.
You mentioned something in your book about how to have a domestic argument in the Keys and succeed.
Yeah.
Could you just elaborate just a little bit?
You can't even do it in your neighborhood, you know, because it's like, God, and I am not that nice to my husband, so I apologize if any of you have seen me scream in the car. I'll just say it right now. But you just live with him for about a couple days. I was just, oh my God, I just went to pay a medical bill, and the lady there just, I go, I think he's kind of behind like 100 or so, and she goes, oh no, only $26. And you go back and tell your husband you're sorry. Because she goes, I know how much you read. Because people have a crush on him because he's really cute. He's like a tall, big, cute guy, and he can get away with shit. And that's what he does. And I get all the crap from him. Excuse my language, and we'll get that out of the tape. But you can't. Yeah, it's all in my book. And I do still have some for sale. I know it's a shocker because I haven't been promoting. Thank you, baby. But they're fun. They are fun stories, and I've actually, it's been another whole year, so I could do like a series of these.
Yes.
You know, I could just, and there are some. I don't think it was Little Pond. Does it say who published my book? Because I just went up to Miami. You know how Steve Gibbs had them all shipped? I mean, I just went up and put them in my trunk, and it was a lot cheaper than that.
Well, you saved $540.
I know. I didn't even click that you'd have to pay for shipping. Did you pay for shipping when you got yours? Because I only did the online ebook.
But mine wasn't as obviously as thick as Steve's book. I want to say it was $170 for 100 books.
That isn't bad, yeah.
I was gonna
For
say
the shipping with that, yeah.
Good.
It doesn't say in there, but to their folly, they didn't put in the printing thing. They were really great, and they were very good. Like I said, I got it done. I mean, I worked on it for a week, and then my husband found the cute little teddy bear that everybody loves. Found this publisher up there, and they were great. And I didn't have the size constraints. That's why it's in the bigger book, which I'm pretending like I did that on purpose. But like if you go through, I did the book Baby for the Puppy Tooth Fairy, and again, I just did that as an ebook just to see what the world was about with that, and I need to now, that's why I was really concentrating with you about the illustrators and stuff, and I need to hire an illustrator and then let it go, because that was my brother and I, and it was a lot of fun collaborating with him, but I literally gave him overnight. He's a graphic artist in Denver, and I said, it's a dog, and blah, 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 and so he ripped it up, and I love that it was my brother and stuff, but I didn't do any graphics inside the book, and that's the only real big complaint with that is that for kids, again, I did little paw prints to keep them busy, but I think that I know I need to grow up with that, and that was fine. It wasn't really, Book Baby was pretty inexpensive, I have to say, and I didn't do any hard copies, so I didn't have the cost of that. I mean, just a digital ebook is really easy, you guys, so go for it and do it. But you know, again, for a children's book, it's sticky. You need to have those illustrations. You need to have it, you know, so I think sometimes a tangible thing, even though Kindle's getting to be huge with kids. I was way ahead of myself when I did a year and a half ago, but what was I saying? So yeah, there are cheaper ways to do it like that too, but I think, did it say it at all?
I don't see it, it may be.
It was just up in Miami, and I don't think it was Little Pond, because Little Pond is down here, right?
You know, Satellite Beach, Florida, yeah.
Thank you for reading me about my husband, you know, reading him, so. Good to know. That's what he got out of that whole book is.
I find that off with my phone.
Oh, is he?
Excuse me,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I think he's got my
No,
phone.
that was Sammy on the tape there. Gonzo. But yeah, I like ebook publishing, and I thought it was really easy. But there is the local ones, and I almost would maybe stick with it. They're pretty good, and they would have worked with me within the parameters. But I had to be here for that speaking thing like within a week, so and it
How
wasn't.
local do you need?
What?
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, I just went up to Miami. They had it done literally in like 3 days, and I loaded them in my trunk and came here for the seminar last year. So, so I would definitely go that route again, a local one. But there, I mean, you know, if Harper picks me up, I'm there. You know, screw the local ones. I want to be published. But any more questions, you guys?
Do you have any thoughts on print-on-demand publishing?
I think. I think it's cheaper than, now you guys might know this better than me, I think it's cheaper if you do that because you can just do, but it's expensive. How is that? Well, you might know.
I'll talk about it some, because I
You
do
will on your next thing, yeah.
Indies, I'm doing print on demand.
Yeah,
We create space.
that's great, because I mean, all that, yeah, because I think you can do it, but then, yeah, I just find out, because I remember reading about that. You can, when I did my own thing, I could order however many I wanted, which is sort of like print on demand, and they have it in file, so I can ask for more. But it's, yeah, and it was more expensive to do like 100 instead of 500. But I mean, really, how many people are going to be buying this? The local stores are great about supporting all of us, you guys. It's just a matter of being out there, being consistent, and getting out there again, which, yeah, I get an F in with that. I want all of you guys to have a banana, or a banana bread, or banana chips, which I found out would be a lot easier to carry than all those bananas.
Jana, maybe I just missed your comments, but I wasn't sure what your new children's book about your daughter's dreams is about.
Thanks for asking. I love Rue. Okay, she's my favorite person here. I forgot to talk about my future. No, you guys, this is what happened. When you're a mom, as Carol and I were talking about, you get caught up. I started writing a book way back. Gladys is there in my red shirt. She and I were flight attendants forever, and we both just retired. But years ago, I write on my emotions, as he was bringing out about fighting with my spouse. Those are my quick articles. Years ago, when 9/11 happened, I was afraid to fly, and I'm a flight attendant. It's like, okay, this isn't good. So, therapy. Therapy is writing, which I talked about last year. And so I wrote a book, how long ago? So that was how many years ago? So I wrote a book back then, and it's a great book, and it's in my computer. I've actually submitted several times about it, and that's an actual adventure, romance, comedy, of course, because that's my gig. But it's great. It's about the life of a flight attendant who is asked to be a spy, and she's like desperate for money, and they give her a bonus to sign on, and so she's kind of like what are they? The guys that sit on the plane.
Air Marshal.
Air marshals, thanks. But she isn't. She thinks she's a big spy, but she's just basically supposed to watch on certain flights to see if there's anything